about 10, 12 years ago, I don't remember the exact date anymore, Beth and I were blessed to be able to travel to one of the far eastern nations whose name is never supposed to be mentioned. It starts with a C. And there's actually serious reasons for not saying it. And I got to do Bible teaching, kind of all over the country in different places, different locales. And the one that was one of the most fun was in a city where there was a Bible Institute. And we got to teach there for about a week. But it turns out that city was a lot more worried, nervous, uptight, I'm not sure what the right word is, about foreigners and particularly Christians. And so basically they told us, while you're here, you've got to stay on our campus the whole time. And the campus was kind of inside the city. So it'd be as if we had to live inside Atonement for a week. It's kind of what it was. Which was fine. It was fine. There was plenty of room for exercise. I ran up and down the steps many, many times. It was all good. But one day, I looked out the window, and there was a group of soldiers who were coming down the street. They weren't doing anything. They were just walking. But I had this sudden surge of, I don't belong here. I'm a foreigner here. I've got no rights to speak of. I am clearly a foreigner, and I am clearly a Christian. What if they stop here? What's going to happen? And of course, nothing happened. They went on down the street and never stopped. I don't know if that in a very small way helped me to understand a little bit about what it was like to be a Gentile in the Old Testament times. In the Old Testament times, God focused his love, his grace on the Jewish nation. Oh, he always wanted all people to be saved. That was true. But in the Old Testament times, the way it happened was you had to become Jewish. You had to start eating kosher diet. You had to become circumcised. You had to start obeying the Sabbath, bring the sacrifices. But even then, you were considered kind of a second-class citizen until multiple generations had passed. The mystery is that that's no longer the case. That God sent the Apostle Paul particularly to preach to the Gentiles the indescribable riches of Christ. And the mystery that God has taken down that separation that was there between Jews and Gentiles. So that now Gentiles like you and me, and I'm guessing most of you are Gentiles, that Gentiles like you and me are in. Can you imagine? By the amazing grace of God, God has brought you into his eternal family. You are part of the family of God, rejoicing in the incredible riches of Christ. In 2023, rejoice at the grace of God that he's adopted you into his family. Indeed, there's room for me. Amen? Let's sing about it by singing